All right, Kim here from KiMISTRY, and you know I have this YouTube channel now, and the purpose of the YouTube channel is that KiMISTRY is going through all kinds of awesome, amazing transformations, right? And one of the major things that's happening, which is really the reason why I wanted to start this YouTube channel, is because we're about to move into a house, and I'm going to be doing some work from this house that has this awesome, amazing backyard. Well, it will be awesome and amazing, but part of the transformation in the work and the transformation work that KiMISTRY does is going to be mirrored in the transformation that's happening with this house. And it's been such an incredible story about how the whole journey of this house has unfolded. And so, because you probably wouldn't believe me if I told you some of the strange things that have occurred with this house, I thought that I would start having conversations with some of the people who have seen some of the strange things unfold. And today I'm here with my mom, who, for those of you who may have worked with me in doing some of my KiMISTRY work, you know that I've mentioned my mom, so she is a real person. So when I say yeah. Right? So when I say I'm biracial,
I was there for 10 months.
Anyway, so when I talk about being biracial and my black mom and my white dad, well, this is my black mom, and then one day I'll show you my white dad, and then the whole thing will come together. At any rate, so hey, mommy.
Hey, sweetin', how are you?
I'm good. And so the first time we went to go view this house, my mom was with me. I'm not going to go into my Greg story right away, but you should know that as of right now, I don't know if he's still there, but as a holding spot, perhaps we could say a squatter in my house, is a raccoon that we have affectionately named Greg.
Not very affectionately, though.
I don't really like Greg, but Greg's holding the house down until we get there, and he is part of the story. So anyway, this one I wanted to, enough about Greg for right now, I wanted to talk with my mom so she could tell you her version of whatever story you'd like to tell that you experienced about the house.
Well, I'd like to start with the fact that I looked up the yard at it, and I said, well, I'm not impressed, so I'm going to wait in the car. And so, you know, we got a chance to go inside, and I thought, what the heck, I'll go inside. And I was just blown away. I cannot believe that I was about to sit in the car and miss all of that, you know.
It's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So what was it, if you're picking something, what was it about the house that you thought something interesting is going to happen in this house?
Well, I mean, it had a little tiny front, so I thought, small. And then
the house does not have a little tiny front. It doesn't. But okay.
It's small and kind of limited, but the whole back of the house is like, you know, remember City Center? No. Anyway, no, okay. But anyway, you know, we were walking through the house and everybody shot off in a different direction, and so I of course, you know, I'm looking out the back door and I'm like, whoa, you got a deck. Says, yeah, I'm supposed to have a deck. So we start, you know, taking bars off the doors and stuff. We go out and we have a 3-tiered deck. Now, I don't know why I keep saying me, we.
It's a family house. This house, the hope for this house is that it will serve to be a resource for healing for many, many people, not just a place where some folks go and have a sandwich and sleep, right? That the hope is that this house that we're going to use for KiMISTRY and many other things will be a place of healing. And so one of the things that we first noticed was this deck, this crazy deck that's in the back. Crazy deck.
All across the back of the house.
But the deck actually wasn't the most amazing thing we found. What was it that we saw when we stepped out on the deck that was like, made us forget about the deck?
The most beautiful flowering trees that kind of hung over the deck like an arbor or something. It was like fairy tale land or something. You know, all you could do when you were out there was say, Wow.
So
They were pink and white blossoms.
they were so beautiful, and there was this birch tree, and it was hanging over. Did I know it was a birch tree? Absolutely not. Someone told me later. But all these beautiful trees that were surrounding this deck, and what we realized, and my daughters, there's going to be another video that you'll see later with my daughters talking about what their stories were regarding our first stumbling upon this house. But what we realized was the deck overlooked this amazing like section of land. And at first we were thinking, oh, that's so cool. There's like a nature preserve that's behind the house.
Yeah.
It wasn't until we looked more deeply that we realized that the nature preserve was the backyard of the house. So there was literally, it was like Snow White was gonna come from around the driveway, and little birds were gonna land in her hair. Unless that's not your thing, and if that's not your thing, then forget that. But like it looked like this beautiful nature kind of thing with Snow White.
Looked like Disney drew it.
It did. It looked like Narnia, you know, and like I thought Bambi was gonna come and like lap at little trees and things would start singing or something. It was crazy looking, and we could not believe.
I was looking for the Cinderella coach myself.
It was crazy. A pumpkin, maybe some singing animals. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Mm-hmm. You know how like animals in Disney movies or in musicals, people just break out in song. Mm-hmm. For a hot second, I thought that at once my mom,
could happen. It was all magical. It could happen.
Maybe my mom and my daughters and I were going to break out in song. Now, because it's me, it probably would have been some P-Funk or something like that.
Yeah, we've heard.
There can be a P-Funk nature song, but the point is this, right? Diversity, equity, inclusion, love, whatever feels safe, right? And for me, the funk or some, you know, I don't know. That stuff feels... Anyway, the point is, it was amazing.
It was.
It was absolutely amazing.
In all seriousness, this house is going to bless a lot of people.
And we're really excited about it. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a lot of work to do because this is it's a bank-owned foreclosure. So the house sat empty for a long time, which is why Greg has been living in there, which I will not discuss at this particular time because I'm not ready for it. And I need to get my own healing inside. I need to get centered before
you can speak of Greg.
I cannot talk about Greg right now, Greg the raccoon. But the point is this. One day, very soon, this house will be ready for you to come and join us and do some amazing work, to really stretch out the chemistry work, right, and really collaborate, get those collective minds in the room together in a smaller scale to go deeper and to do some really beautiful work. And what we plan on doing is incorporating this amazing space, this healing space, mm-hmm, inside of the chemistry work, so that not only can we dig in, do that cultural competency work, do that trauma-informed social justice work, really pay attention to healing and our triggers, but that means in the middle of the work, we can take a break, mm-hmm, and we can actually step out on a deck and watch birds singing to each other. Literally, you might be able to see a deer snacking on the backyard like it's Wendy's back there. Mm-hmm. I've seen it happen. Mm-hmm. There is a babbling brook, mm-hmm, in the backyard. Mm-hmm. And this can be...
It goes babble, 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 like that.
Actually, maybe it speaks Portuguese.
Oh, sorry.
Let's really keep in mind the multicultural kind of way.
She's
right. It doesn't mean that just because we're in Ohio that the brook speaks English. So anyway, on that note, thank you so much for listening. Someone's calling us. Maybe the house is calling us. Maybe it's Greg calling us. I don't know.
Probably Greg.
Greg probably does have a cell phone because he sure has been laid up in my house. But that's fine. That's for another video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Subscribe below or above or cat-a-cornered or wherever that button's going to be. Somewhere, I don't know. Subscribe. Find out about more stories.
I'm still working with her.
Find out about more stories about this house and how it's going to unfold. We'd love your suggestions and your opinions on how we can make it comfortable for you as you plan on maybe joining us in the process of making sure that this space is really a good, comfortable, healing space for everyone.
Absolutely.
We're looking forward to sharing the deck with you.
Yes. Oh, and it's the perfect time of year because we're getting lots of warm weather.
What if people see this in this winter?
It's the perfect time of year because we're going to have Christmas trees out there in the snow.
What if they're not Christian and they don't have Christmas trees.
It's the perfect time of year because we'll have all kinds of different color leaves falling.
What if they're not from a place where they have 4 seasons?
Say goodbye, Kim.
Okay, goodbye, and thank you for tuning in. Say bye, Mommy.
Bye, Mommy. Love you.